Hello and thank you for joining us on Journalist Hangout. My name is Ayodele Ozugbakun. Today on the program, police headquarters on fire, prisoners released as gunmen stage multiple attack in Imo. Sheikh Gumi, northern leaders meet with former President Obasanjo over rising insecurity, urge federal government to set up special courts for banditry, as Governor El-Rufai denies appointing intermediaries to negotiate with bandits. I'll be hanging out with Asukwa James and Mojid Jamiu. Happy Easter.
Happy holidays. So I hope you are enjoying your Easter.
Oh, man.
I'm fine. I'm fine. we are making the best of it.
All right. So let's begin the week with the report of overwhelming attacks on security and law enforcement establishments in Owerri, Imo State, as hundreds of prisoners were set free. Perpetrators remain unclear, with some residents saying the incident may have gone unchallenged for more than 1 hour with the use of high-caliber weapons and explosive detonation of explosives. Gentlemen, I am so worried because I saw the visuals of these things and I feel that, look, we have a situation whereby the influx of arms and ammunition in the hands of non-state actors is something that is very, very worrisome. People who are taking arm against, regulated authorities.
Exactly. I think focus should now, we've been talking about the Northwest, talking about the Northeast. The focus should now be on the Southeast and the South-South. For a couple of months now, in fact, Vanguard this morning, they did like a breakdown of the number of police officers killed and police stations that have been burnt. So far, 67 policemen have been killed.
So the prime target is
from December till date, So, and it's like, is either coordinated or it is isolated. But if you look at how these things happen, it's like it's coordinated, because for the one that happened yesterday till now, they first attacked a military base, a checkpoint, around Ukwoji, before they now went to the prison to go and set the prisoners free. And then they attacked the prison that is not even far from the government house. So it shows that these guys...
The prison that is not far from the government house.
It's not far. The correctional center is not far. The command is not far from the government house. In fact, from what we gathered, the shots at the main entrance, that is the gate of the government house, showing that these guys they are ready to either die, and they were not just one. They were like hundreds.
It's a high caliber weapons.
They were from the statement of the IG, from the statement of Frank Mba this afternoon. He said that they had like AK-47 rifles with them. They had IEDs. They had RPGs. Yeah. So you can see that they didn't just go there to say that, they just want to test the waters. No, they went there prepared. So if there were reprisal attacks from the police, I think what would have
confronted them.
If they confronted it would have been worse. Because from what happened, from what we have seen, is that they went there, did what they wanted to do, and they left. So it is now left for the police. Now that the IG said they are sending a special intelligence team there, we want a solution to this matter, because it's getting out of hand, Ayo. And I'm very, very afraid for the police officers who are working in the Southeast at this particular time.
Targets.
Yeah, because right now they seem to be the only target. They go there, they kill them. Sometimes they kidnap them. And how much does a police officer earn, for crying out loud? Because if you kidnap a police officer and you start asking for ransom, how much are the family will be able to use in setting them free? So the police has his hands full in how to deal with the situation in the Southeast right now.
MJ, GKB wrote something on his Facebook and it got me thinking. He said the aftermath of the NSAS protests, that one of the bad thing that came out from it might be this so-called demystification of the Nigerian police. That people are not just afraid again. At will. Look at the other time in Computer Village. He said you apprehended police. I saw them. They were with AK-47. They were with their rifles. Still beating. People were still beating them with their rifles.
You know, what happened overnight, like Azuko said, is quite scary. In Imo, gory details, videos of how this thing actually happened. I mean, Azuko said it's close to the government house. No, you didn't put it in the right perspective. They sang, the hoodlums that came were singing around and the roundabout leading to the government house. From that place, you know Imo very well. From that place to the gate of the government house is just 1 minute walk. They were there singing for more than 30 minutes before they went into the prison. So, and I went to the prison, the correctional center, which is also in the government house vicinity. I mean, the same corridor. What we are talking about is not more than, and the police headquarters is not even far from that place. So, that's why it is so scary. And at any point in time, you have in most of the government houses in Nigeria, you have at least 200 policemen, combat ready. In most of the government houses in Nigeria, you have at least 200, armed policemen, or in most cases from the PMF, the police mobile force unit, and some other special forces in the government house. In the state government houses. So, when I was reading the details that between 1,000 and 1,500 inmates of the correctional center were set free. They said they were chanting slogans that is their own Easter gift, that they have been set free. That they have
some
been
are convicted criminals.
Hardened criminals. Some people in the awaiting death list. Some people in awaiting trial for murder.
Some convicted.
Some convicted. So many categories. So it is really, really scary. And to think that, apart from the fact that they were in the that roundabout, very close to the government house, for more than 30 minutes before they actually attacked the correctional facility, reports showed that they attacked the correctional facility between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. They had like clear 2 hours, which could afford the police to even reinforce or seek for more help. So I don't know.
Operated for 2 hours.
For 2 hours. And
is the governor going
so some of the
they are going to assess
two
damage.
Two security vehicles very close to the correctional center, that normally used at the as a checkpoint, was set ablaze. These guys,
I saw a military checkpoint too.
These guys came. They said it came in a convoy of about 10 vehicles, fully armed. Now we are yet to understand the linkage between the ESN and IPOB, IPOB, and also the instruction by Nnamdi Kanu for them to continue to attack security operatives. We are yet to establish a link with this. But I think I read some reports. I read some reports earlier. They also went to a police station nearby. You can see this is an armored
that's going to be a bulletproof
carrier. That's an armored personnel carrier. So we can see this. We can see the destruction, and that's a correctional facility. So it was, I think, a well orchestrated plan.
Okay, joining us via Skype is a security expert, Dennis Amakri. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good evening. How are you guys?
Thank you.
Fine, thank you.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you guys.
Now, what do you think is responsible for this latest trend that non-state actor will just take up ammunition against, the police?
Well, it has been happening. It shouldn't be something that is strange. Non-state actors have been doing it in the northeast. They've been doing it in the northwest. And then, of course, the people in the south don't believe that this will happen. Now it is happening. And we have it in the southeast now. South could also happen. So these are the things that I think the government have to be very serious about. We have given this warning. If Nigeria is moving towards anarchy, that kind of anarchy that is going to happen this time is different warlords taking over different parts of the country, and then of course demarcating it, you know, a no-go area for other people. And we are moving towards that. And as you can see, they are not scared of the police anymore. Even the army didn't respond because Obize is just about 10-15 minutes away from where this happened. That's a military base. So no response. And look at the police situation. Their station is burned down, and prisoners are being let out. I think there is more to this that meets the eye.
Now, talking in terms of proliferation of arms across the country, this is kind of worrisome and unprecedented. Everywhere you go now, northeast, northwest, north central, south, southeast, southwest, you have AK-47 everywhere. Yes,
you have all kinds of weapons, small arms and light weapons all over the place. And let me tell you something. There is something we are overlooking. Most of these people that are carrying the AK-47, look at the people that are carrying the AK-47. They didn't buy it. Does it belong to them? These AK-47s were bought for them by politicians. By politicians. We have to call it the name that it is. Because they use them for elections, and after elections, they couldn't disarm them. And of course, these boys are using it to threaten the whole society now. So we have to look deeper and deeper into what is happening, because I don't think we've really identified what is coming to us yet.
Finally, do you think government is doing enough in terms of stemming the tide of what could bring up these agitations across the country, reaching out to people? We now have people that, you know, lately now we have people advocating for Odua Republic. The IFPOB has been there for some years now, and you know, everybody is now about talking about self-determination down south.
So when you say government, who are you referring to?
The federal government of Nigeria.
Federal government or state government? Of course, state government. They are the ones. They are the responsible ones. They own those spaces that are occupied by these gun-toting, whatever you want to call them. So, in fact, there should be a signage between all the governors. In fact, let's go back to Imo State, for instance, now. The former governor of Imo State and the present governor have to come back, sit down, and then clear their problems, because all of them have their boys. And some of these boys that are doing this are part of it. So that is part of the government, the governors. Federal government, I think federal government is weary now with the armed forces fighting over 10 years, the police thinly spread, and they cannot handle the whole thing. And you know what happens is NSAS. So I think we need a re-strategization, you know, if there's a word like that. We should re-strategize and try and get these things on, because we are looking at the country slipping down a very slippery hill at breakneck speed.
Thank you, Dennis Amakari, security expert. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mujit. we have a very worrisome situation at hand now, because if you go to places like Mushi in Lagos, if you go to Fadi, Lagos, if you go to Ikorodu, if there's any attempt by the police to take on these guys, they come. If you go to Ushodi, I saw a clip that even some guys, some task force guys in Lagos State, they wanted to enforce something, and when those area boys, they came together, they were in their hundreds. The police van had to leave.
No, it's it's like a snow that's gathering momentum. It's like, snowballing. The storms are gathering. And the earlier we nip this in the bud, the better. Like Amatri said, we don't want a situation where we'll degenerate to another Sudan, where we have warlords.
Holding territories.
The northeast and northwest, we have issues, and now the south, we have had some
with the Eastern Security Network now,
and we have activists in the southwest. We have a Sunday Igboho calling for Oduduwa Republic, and a warrant of arrest was issued on him.
He has sympathizers.
He has sympathizers, and you have senior advocates of Nigeria saying that he could not be arrested. So these are things that we need to handle with utmost care. Without the kind of thing that happened in Igangan, there is no way Sunday Igboho will come out to fight. So these are issues that should be addressed. And the earlier we do this, the better. He spoke about the case of Imo now in particular, where we saw about a month ago, precisely last month, the former governor, Rochas Okorocha, trying to take possession of invested house. You saw what happened. The exchange of gunfire, by loyalists of Okorocha and some guys from the government side. So, and about a month or 2 months ago, we saw what happened in Olu, the clampdown on the Eastern Security Network. So this could be a reprisal attack. But it's still early in the day. We are waiting for more investigation into how this happened, because it's still like, it's like if I'm watching a movie, how something as critical and as deadly as that could happen at the presence of a government house with a police station, a police headquarters very close by. The correctional facilities, it's not as if they are totally harmless. Correctional facilities, we have warders bearing arms, and even they are even fortified with security personnel. That they have men of the Nigerian police force on guard to maintain security. So it's like a free reign for almost 3 hours. Things were going on there. Between 1,000 1,500 inmates, hardened criminals, set free.
Yeah, the implication of that, because when you go to the major prison and you set 1,500 inmates, and these people, they are so dangerous to the society.
The implication is that nobody is safe in Imo. I served in Imo, and I know how peaceful the place was, during the Ohakim period. And Imo used to be, it's still a beautiful place. It's somewhere that everybody can, say, oh, I want to just go there and, chill a bit and come back to Lagos or something. But right now, I'm not sure anybody will want to, venture. Especially now, exactly, because right now, the governor will have to, he has to declare either a curfew, and then, just like Obaseki did, because I remember when prisoners escaped in the Benin prison.
In October.
Somebody who was in prison, hardened criminal, went to look for the people that accused him and killed them. Yes, and killed them.
Yeah, killed them. Yeah.
So we need it. It shows it. We have a very big situation in our hands, and then the governor will have to find a way to make sure that everybody that was in prison, they return to that prison cell, because if they don't, nobody in Imo is safe. Because right now, everybody will be saying, yes, they freed them. It's not about freeing somebody, because you don't know who your enemies are, because they are in prison. If your enemy was in prison before, you should be afraid if you're in Imo right now.
With the statistic of over 33% by the National Bureau of Statistics unemployment rates, and sometimes a lot of people will say we should stop scratching the surface and look at the root cause. And most of these guys that are taking up arms and ammunition, even up north, they are jobless, unemployed youths, and the people that are not totally integrated in the society, that they don't have anything doing. And this is a big challenge in the country right now. The level of unemployment.
Unemployment is not an excuse for people to take up arms. And
it's not.
So?
Yeah, it's not an excuse. But then, no, you didn't let me finish.
Okay.
But then, governments must also provide an enabling environment to enhance a situation where more people could be taken out of the job market. I mean, infrastructure, power supply, encouraging small and medium scale industries to actually survive and thrive. Now, we talk of prices of fuel, inflation rates going up. A lot of people are finding it difficult to even eke out a living from the small businesses that they were able to doing.
Exactly.
So, although some are naturally lazy, they want the quick fix, they want a quick win. Some are taken to Yahoo Plus and all those stuff. Internet fraud. Some are used to that. There's no way you can bring them back. And the moment they are being caught and arrested and harassed by the police, they take up arms against the police. We saw that after during the NSAS. It was hijacked. The NSAS was a very good initiative by those who meant well, but then the thing was hijacked by some other unscrupulous guys. So, but government must do its part. But then I will also say, being unemployed is not an excuse for you to take up arms.
Exactly, because look at, for instance, if one leaves school and he can't get a paying job, a white-collar job, and he wants to go into barbing, for instance, and he looks at it, okay, fine, I have my father's house somewhere, I have a shop, there's no light, I have to use generator. You understand? And even if I want to, the next thing you hear is that, okay, one local government, they want to come and collect one tax.
That's it.
Then after that one, they will tell you how you have to pay for another bill. By the time all these things pile up, the guy will also be looking, how many head do I even cut that I will have to pay? Security. You understand? So if there's an enabling environment for people and for small businesses to thrive, so many people will be out of crimes and criminality, because that is what is causing this. Because governments cannot employ everybody.
It's not possible.
Government cannot employ everybody. So if government makes that environment conducive, anybody coming out from school will have that idea that, okay, fine, there might not be jobs, but I have a skill and I can use that skill for me to survive.
All right, we'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. Still Journalist Hangouts. We'll be right back after this breather. It's a favorite news and current affairs program on TVC News. Still have Asukwa James and Moji Jamiu in-house. And moving on now, the former president Olusegun Obasanjo and popular Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmed Gumi have urged President Olusegun Obasanjo, as President Muhammadu Buhari, beg your pardon, to devise fresh methods for tackling security issues in the country. The duo recently met behind closed doors in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, to discuss ways of solving the country's perennial security challenges. And this comes at a time when Governor Nasir El-Rufai denies appointing intermediaries to negotiate with bandits. Okay, let's talk about Nasir El-Rufai. Now, it's over a month that the 39 students they've been abducted, and it's not interested in negotiating. It doesn't want to pay ransom, and I don't know of any plan to get those children off the hook of these bandits. In the last 39 days, I can just imagine what they would have gone through.
Just like you said, I don't know what the parents will be going through right now, and even the children there, because don't forget how the condition they were actually kidnapped. They were not given, most of them were just with their nightwears.
Yes.
You know, when they were kidnapped.
They won't have a change of clothes.
You know, and it's really painful that this is happening to a country whereby we say our future, the future of our country lies with the children. And these are people who went to school for them to have a better future. Right now, we don't know, we've not heard anything concerning them. It was weeks before you know it will be months. And we don't know if they've even moved them away from where they were before, which is maybe Kaduna before, now they moved maybe to Zamfara. We don't even know, we've not heard anything. And Governor El-Rufai now saying that he won't negotiate, means that he is not interested.
Negotiating
will be arrested.
Will be prosecuted.
Yes, that is what he said, because even from the memo that we got, he has a phone number that reports anybody that is trying to negotiate on behalf of government. So I don't know how they want the 39 to be released, because they need to come back home.
Mojis,
there has to be a solution.
Some people will say Governor Nasser El-Rufai is not sensitive, that if he has his own children as one of those people kidnapped, he's not going to be talking about not negotiating with them, that anybody found negotiating with them is going to be prosecuted.
It's a difficult situation
here.
It's
difficult.
While it's not a good idea to negotiate with bandits or terrorists, I mean, Americans will tell you that the American government, the principle of the American government is we do not negotiate with terrorists.
We know that they use backdoor to negotiate with
Taliban. But then they will go back and do the needful, right? But in Nigeria, what we do is we negotiate with them. They use that money to further go and equip. Now, we can understand El-Rufai's case, but then it needs to be diplomatic, because human beings are involved.
Exactly.
Youths are involved. I mean, we are not even, whether they are even
parents.
They have parents. Yeah, so and we are also parents. God forbid, I imagine, I mean, anybody could have his or her kid in that school.
In that forest.
It's a federal institution. And I mean, being with those bandits for almost a month now, or even more than a month. So I expect that a little bit of diplomacy will come into play here, and find a way of getting the students out. You see, it's all part of failure of government. You see, El-Rufai said in a tweet by the wife Adiza went to the farm about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
And she sent a tweet that she's on her own because the governor, who is the husband, warned her not to go to that farm, but that she had to go to the farm, that if she's kidnapped, she's on her own. She sent out that tweet.
Yeah, the picture.
The picture of her in the farm. So she said, well, I'm here in the farm. My husband has said that I shouldn't come here, but here I am. And it said he warned that the governor warned her that if she's kidnapped, he's not going to negotiate or pay any ransom on her.
Okay, let me quickly pick this call from Imo State. Kesadu is calling us from Imo State. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, Mr. James, and good evening, Majid.
Good evening.
Kesadu, what's happening in Imo?
Yeah, we need on the spot
updates. What's happening in Imo State? Are you in Owerri?
There is shooting as we speak today. Yes, I live in Owerri. There is sporadic shooting now. We're hearing gunshots. Everybody's scared. We don't even know what to do.
Gunshot till now?
Yes. We don't know who is shooting. And policemen, military men all over the places. You see, the issue of insecurity is becoming an embarrassment.
Where are you exactly in Owerri?
Where I live in Owerri?
Yes.
Okay, where I am now, I'm in Ijenebu as we speak.
Okay.
Yes. So you see, this thing is becoming a total embarrassment to everybody, not just, in fact, the government in particular. You know, we've been calling on the state government, unlike what we're seeing in the southwest, Amotekun. We can have a regional security. We can have a state-owned security. This thing happened in the time of Rosa Sokorota. No doubt that we didn't have a good time with the former governor. He didn't treat us very well as a governor. But the issue of security is a very pertinent issue. Let me tell you, no matter where the people came from, if we had had probably local government by local government security act, somebody would have made calls to the military or even to the police for them to be at alert. See, we saw some persons coming, probably armed, maybe in vehicles, motorcycles, but nothing happened. These people came into the state capital. Like you rightly said, you know where our state there is the police command, very close to the government house.
Exactly.
The prison is very close to the government house. These people said, even what we heard last night was the people sang even at some point for hours or minutes before this whole thing started. All through the night, we were in fear. Now, you know what this thing, the adverse effect it has on the economy of the state as we speak. Like Mr. Suko said, Imo is a very peaceful place that you can come in. We call it Ungori, where you can come, relax, have fun, and go.
Exactly.
It happens. But unfortunately, it's not the way. And nobody can even stay out now. As we speak, everybody is inside. We are afraid. Now, you know the effect this in releasing how many emails outside, even having criminals. So you know what this thing can actually do for us.
Thank you for your contribution, Kesani.
Anymore.
Thank you for your contribution. It's just telling us, I just imagine if you are saying, okay, government house, let's say like Lagos now, that kind of thing happened in Alausa. And you know, we have RRS headquarters here, you have everything.
Inside the government house, yeah.
It's almost impossible for you to operate like that for 2 hours without being apprehended.
That's why, I mean, it's a failure of intelligence, failure of a breakdown of law and order. That's the way I'll put it, especially with what happened in Imo today. I mean, he just confirmed, this from Imo. Yes. He just confirmed. We read reports, but he's on ground.
Is there.
He just confirmed what we've been saying. The radius is not more than maybe probably 5 kilometers of where the correctional facility is, the government house, and the police command. So, and to the chagrin of people, of the masses, these guys were singing at the junction of the government house.
And there's no how you will sing in that dead night
that people will not hear. And they were singing about their mission before they even carried out the mission. So, I expect that when the shooting started, I mean, those security guys manning the government house, even if they cannot go there, they should have raised the red alert.
Exactly.
So that, I mean, they call in for the reinforcement. The police, the military barracks is just about 15 meters, although I understand that the command system will not allow the military to just come in. But then, if a place like a correctional facility is being attacked, that calls for a national emergency, which, I mean, should send in reinforcements that could save the situation. It happened in Ikoyi prison, and during the NSAS.
I have Ruben from Delta State. Thank you, Ruben, for joining us.
Majid, good evening, Asuko. Evening to you guys.
Good evening.
Yes. My contribution is this. You see, the trend happening now, as I speak to you, you know, not everything that happens is related on the media. Yesterday, along the Warriors Gate Road,
the prince that was killed.
I don't know how to call these ones now. Hello?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, we're with you.
I don't know how to call this one. They stopped vehicle and they were taking people into the bush. Warriors So many people passed and were looking at them from afar, taking people into the bush. Some group of boys will just come together with arms, organize themselves in their numbers, hundreds, and they begin to terrorize. It is going all over the country. And some of them are reported and some of them are not. If we don't have our military and have quick response group, it will get out of hand and we will be trying to chase what would have stopped from the beginning. I pray it shouldn't get to that point. They have warned. Every time something happens, we talk about the federal government, the president, the senators, the House of Reps, the commissioners, the local assemblies. All of them should take notes.
Okay, thank you for your contribution. So no matter the development we're talking about, no matter the infrastructural development, if there's insecurity, you know, there won't be any conducive atmosphere
Exactly.
for business, for anything to thrive.
No, the thing is, people outside, people want to invest in Nigeria. When they hear things like that, they won't come. Because no white man will want to come and invest and then they will kidnap him. You will still pay for him to be released. Because the next thing, if they release him, he's going back to his country.
Yeah.
And because he's coming with his portmanteau. So when once it happens, he's going back. He's not interested in investing. So we are left with by ourselves to do whatever we need to do.
Okay, let's talk about...
Recently, there's a video that went viral that a prince, I wanted to even ask him, a prince was kidnapped. And the police officers that were around him were all killed.
Yeah.
You know? So it's getting scary by the day that people cannot even travel anymore. You want to travel, you are praying, you are fasting before you travel. All this road that they are kidnapping people, there are roads that you and I used to travel.
Yeah.
Dead in the night. Sometimes we say, oh, let's quickly get to Ibadan. We'll leave at 12 midnight. Before we know, you're already in Ibadan. Sometimes we want to go to Oshun, you can say, let's leave at 10 p.m. And we'll go and come back. Yeah. Nothing will happen. I know how many times I've gone through the Owerri, Aba, going to Owerri and Aba, then from Aba, I'll go to Akwa Ibom. When I was 7.
Asuko, last week, just last week in Anambra, in his village, the former CBN governor, Chukwuma Soludo, was attacked. 3 mobile policemen attached to him were killed. Up till now, we have not had anything. Nothing. So these things keep going on, and I mean, we don't have. There is no response. There is no. I mean, there's no response to show that. I mean, we are safe.
Because in some other countries, if you touch a policeman, you are in trouble.
Yes.
If you kill a policeman, that's the beginning
just
of the problem.
Just to touch a police officer.
They will just make sure they will get to that person.
It's really getting scary now, the way these bandits will just go into police stations and run down a whole police station, and even run down military checkpoints. So, I mean, I don't know how to put it. If a police, we all saw what they did at the police station very close to the correctional facility there. I mean, in Imo. And
that means they took their time.
Yes.
They had
now, what will be the morale of the source officers when they come back to their station the morning, the ones that are now on duty, when they come back this morning to their police station? How would their morale be? How do you lodge a complaint?
Okay, still looking at security, the self-acclaimed negotiator, bandits negotiator, that's Sheikh Gumi, he met with former President Olusegun Obasanjo, trying to look at how to tackle the security issues around the country, especially up north.
You know, now, I'm not going to look at the messenger here, but rather the message. You see, he has, Gumi, whether we like it or not, has seen something. He has met with those bandits in the north, and from the way he conversed with them, he has seen that there is danger. That's why he came down south to meet with former President Olusegun Obasanjo. I mean, Obasanjo, in his wisdom, didn't meet with him alone. He invited the chairman of the Christian Association in Ogun State, Bishop Akin Akinsanya, the chief imam of Gbagura, the Agura of Gbagura, and a host of others. They met and identified some of the reasons that has led to this. No, we spoke earlier about out-of-school population and the number of the employed. They issued a communique where they mentioned those facts that we need to get about 14 million kids back to school. It's because some of these kids that are not in school, especially in the northern part of the country, that are responsible. See, when you don't have a parental care, you have little or no value for human life, and that's why they kill aimlessly like that. You see, but if a child is in school and is being put through proper education, behavioral activities, civics, and all those stuff, the rate at which they will go into banditry will reduce. And when you go out of school and you are gainfully employed, then it reduces some of these issues. These are some of the things discussed at that meeting, and that we should not ethnicize this.
Exactly.
We should not religionize it, and we should not say whether it's I mean, if we should call it a bad name and address it like that. And I think he has also invited Obasanjo to come to Kaduna, for another meeting. I mean, they discussed a lot of issues. I mean, a very detailed communique was issued at the end of that meeting at Abeokuta.
But the truth of the matter is that former President Olusegun Obasanjo is a former president, but he has a frustrated relationship with the federal government with the president right now. I would have said, oh, whatever would be suggested, he would have taken it to Mr. President and they would have addressed it in their regular Security Council meeting. But I don't think they have...
National Council of State. I think they have
is it Council of State?
Yeah.
Yes, with the former head of state, the former head of states. So I think, do you think Sheikh Gumi is talking to the right quarters?
Yes, the thing is, at least is making the statements. He has taken it to former President Obasanjo. So the former president can also say, okay, fine. As the former president, I want to see the president and make this case. They have listed a whole lot of things which when I was reading, I think it made a lot of sense. You know, like having a common policy for the nation for dealing with crimes, for instance.
Yeah.
It's not that one state will say they want to negotiate with bandits, another one will say no. Because, for instance, if you give bandits money in the north and bandits are doing their own in the south and you're not giving money, it will look as if it's not...
They've bribed bandits, they've paid ransom with almost 1 billion.
1 billion already. Yeah. So then somebody in the east will say, there's money, so why can't you also give us the money? So they have to be a common policy on how to address that.
They proposed,
you know?
They actually...
So, yeah, that was part of...
A carrot and stick approach.
Wale is calling us from Ikorodu in Lagos.
Oh, good evening, Ayo.
Good evening, Wale.
Good evening.
Yeah, Atukwo James and Majid Yoko. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Wale.
Ayo.
Yeah.
Please, all of us in Nigeria, we are in trouble. If people can operate like that in front of government house, myself and yourself and Majid, we are not safe. Because do you want to tell me that if the Aso Rock is invaded, they will rely on command structure before the Nigerian army moves in? There is no sense in that. Commissioner of Police in Imo State ought to have been fired. Then the brigade commander here, do they need to wait? Supposing after finishing with the police headquarters and with the correctional service, they now face the government house and see the governor. What are we going to do? What are we going to say? Look, we should be very, very careful. We are in trouble. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Part of the things that, you know, we gloat over misfortune of other people. I remember when Governor Tom escaped. You know, if you go on social media, people say, he ran 1 million meters. He did this. You know, they make a mockery of him. When the man ran for his life. And that is the same thing that is going on, even in Imo right now.
Yeah.
The things that we are supposed to be serious about, we are not serious.
This is anarchy.
Just like the same thing that happened to the NAF Alpha jet. People are saying, in fact, the media, everybody, we are saying that, it was Boko Haram that actually brought down that jet. Why are we like this in this country? Why don't we love our country like every other people would love their own country? America will always put their country first.
Yeah.
But we, because we do not like one particular person, we don't like one particular region, we just want to bring down the country by our own selves. And the thing is, once Nigeria is down, everybody, it will affect everybody. So we need to find a way to come to, and that is why Gumi and Obasanjo coming together to bring out this communique. I think everybody should read it. It is not for us to just say, they just met. No. They brought out something, ethnic, religious, tolerance, accommodating one another, because it's very important at this particular, and even employing, because he said something about employment for bandits. But that one, we need to know what kind of employment. Is it farming? Is it going to be mining? What kind of employment? So we need to sit down to, whether we are going to have a national dialogue, let us do the national dialogue and see if it's going to work or not.
Okay, I think Shola is calling us from Oyo State, Ibadan. Thank you
Good
for
evening.
joining us.
Yes, Mr. Majid and Ayo and Asuko, good evening now, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Now, honestly, let us be frank with ourselves. This country today, we are sitting on the keg of the gunpowder. And from a sincere heart, all hands are needed to be put on deck so that
We lost the call. Murjit, we've never been this divided in the history, you know, in the history of this country.
It's really, really sad.
It's
and that's
worrisome.
And that's why.
That's what Asuko is trying to say.
Yes.
Because now everything you see, people give interpretation on ethnic
Exactly.
line, religious
Religion.
line, everything.
And you know, I started
not
my
about
point.
one
I started
Nigeria
my
again.
point by saying that we should forget about the messengers now, but rather the message. Like Asuko said, we should all go and read that communique.
Yeah.
They spoke about not ethnicizing or regionalizing
Yes.
this issue. Criminality should be treated basically as criminality.
Yes.
And if there are those who could still be weaned or rescued from those bandits, they should be rescued and weaned and taken out and given probably reparation. And those who have also suffered from the hands of these bandits and kidnappers, they should be compensated. Not just giving money to the I mean, in exchange for human beings, but also looking at those who have suffered, especially those the farmers who have suffered losses as a result of herdsmen invading their farms. Those should be also, they should also be compensated. So that it will be a balanced situation. And also, if we need to seek help from ECOWAS countries like Niger, Chad, and Cameroon, let us go there, caps in hand, to beg them to come to our aid, because it's like we are losing it. It's like we can't handle the situation any longer.
Let's go your parting shots.
Just like I said, the president needs to look at, sit down, when he comes back from the UK anyway, if he needs to sit down, then Nigeria, just like every other person, we are all afraid. The president needs to call for a national dialogue, because Nigerians don't feel as if they are part of the country. We need to be part and parcel of Nigeria. And everybody, I'm speaking the minds of what people outside are saying. So the president will have to call a national dialogue, then from there, we'll be able to sort out this problem once and for all.
So that the judge, I can remember, so that the judge will not be referring to some set of people as Biafra.
Exactly. Exactly.
I remember.
Exactly.
We'll talk to you. Moji Jami, we are going to Best Bargain. At least for Easter now.
We should
Elijah will get to.
We should catch
Yes, exactly. Let's leave Nigeria problem
and do some merit.
Yes.
Asuko James, thank you for your contribution.
Thank you so much.
And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another edition of Journalist Hangout. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11. Don't forget to join us, Journalist Hangout, on Sunday by 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. That's 2 hours every Sunday, Journalist Hangout. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TBC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Uzubaku. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.